afternoon, evening to all the viewers here today. Welcome back to another video of me trying to do something with a racing career here at Goodwood Kartways. Flash symbol here. Yeah, so we're here racing again. This is my race number 9. I don't know, I don't have enough hands for this. If you haven't seen last video, I suggest you watch my last video first because it's really interesting. And if you haven't, if you don't have the time to watch it, I'll spoil it for you quickly. I did end up coming first in that race. I qualified first, I led the entire race, and I came in first. So it was quite an achieving or very good race for me, or a really good race day itself for me. Today's race is number 9. I'm not gonna try, live in the past too much because today's a new day, today's a new race day, and I want to continue my progress in my racing. So clearly, I've been getting better and better and better every race I've been doing, learning things here and there. I found myself that I'm very comfortable, very comfortable, should I say, in the rain. So today, again, if you haven't noticed, very gloomy. It's been spitting on and off, so there's no sun coming out, so it's going to be damp at the best. So it probably won't be soaked for the race, but it's gonna be wet for the entire race. But since it's so cold, I don't see the rain drying up. Even if we do, even if it doesn't rain at all for the rest of the day, I don't see us dissipating all of the water just because it's so cold and so damp today. And I do see it slowly rain a little bit more later. Hopefully it doesn't pour. I hope it just keeps drizzling slightly because I've been having great luck in the rain. So let's keep that momentum going. Okay, let's jump into the actual in-kart or in-kart footage, as you would, I guess, call it. Here we're in practice number 1, and there's gonna be a special for practice bonanza this episode. So get ready for that. I'm not gonna show all the footage because if I showed all 4 practices, it'd be like a 30-ish minute video, especially with all the cut-ins and outs. And I'm trying to make my videos a little bit shorter because I think the longer videos it gets kind of boring, kind of whatever. Hearing my voice too at the same time, it gets kind of boring. But enough of that. I'm trying to whatever. You guys understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I want to talk about the track and how wet and the line I have to take during the races. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit after. I want to kind of get a couple things out of the way first. For example, first of all, I haven't posted in about 2 weeks. That's not because I was quitting YouTube or anything. I know YouTube isn't really a job for me at this point. Eventually I'd like to have it as a job. It'd be pretty cool. I like content creation, but I know it's kind of a saturated market, so I just do it kind of for fun. So we'll see how that works. But I haven't posted in 2 weeks, not because, like I said, I got uninterested, just for the fact that I've been ultra super busy, mainly because of the holidays, also because I'm with OC family, stuff like that, some Christmas shopping here and there, New Year's stuff, and supposed to have a wedding, but that kind of fell through because of stuff. But anyways, we're not going to look on the hard the stuff that sucked. But yeah, like I said, busy with holidays, but also really busy with my Supra. A couple updates on that. First, I finished welding up the wheel wells. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but I don't know if it's a Mark III Supra problem or something like that, or just maybe just every car I've seen. But like the wheel wells, like the insides just absolute rot like it's nobody's business. And the 3 that I've seen all have rotted, and the one I bought, I guess I missed it or I wasn't paying attention, and it was just as bad or even worse than some of them that I've actually even seen. So I had to kind of put in patch weld. It's not the best work, but honestly it's better than what the guys did, because what the other guys pretty much did was just kind of paint over the rust and just filled it in with glue or whatever it was, or Bondo and stuff like that. I cut it out, I welded stuff in the inside, which wasn't fun at all, by the way, because hot metal falling on you isn't a good time whatsoever. But yeah, I ended up getting that done. I did seam seal it, stuff like that. I had to basically remake some of my frame rails, not frame rails really, more in the back, but it's easier to show in person, but videos on that will probably never really come out because it takes way too much work to do stuff like that, and it's not really interesting to me. But I got that done. Also, I was supposed to drop my motor in, which I kind of did do, but I bought Drift Motion motor mounts for 87 Supra for a 2JZ. So it's kind of, I bought those specifically because that's the car I have and stuff like that, so I thought it would work properly, but I guess it doesn't, or maybe the mounts on the actual block are different, as I do an absolute spin right as I exit the pit lane. So that was pretty funny. But anyways, let's get back onto the Supra topic. I was planning to put the motor in right before the new year. That was my goal, to have it into the car with the transmission attached to it, my CD09, which is another issue, but I'll get to that after. So the actual 2J I wasn't able to put in simply for the fact that the mount on the passenger side didn't line up at all with the actual mount on the chassis. It didn't want to line up whatsoever. there was only one way to actually put it onto the actual block, but it wouldn't line up to the actual car. The driver's side, by the way I was putting in, looks like it lines up absolutely perfectly, so I was kind of cool with that. But then if you look at the passenger side, it doesn't line up whatsoever. So I've been trying to talk to forums. People are telling me that I didn't put it on right, but there wasn't really anywhere else to put it. My next course of action is to pretty much just send Drift Motion with an email and see what they have to say. I'll show them what I have. I double checked my car's year, like I checked my ownership, and I even have my buddy who works at like a dealer, not like a Toyota dealer, but he has like a restoration. He works at like a FAF auto shop, something like that. So that's like a local Ontario thing. So if you know that, that's where he works. And he's able to check the VIN for me. So he actually confirmed that it wasn't 1987 Supra. So the mount should work, but that's something we're going to have to clarify later. The mounts I did buy were for 86 to early 89, I believe it is, because I think after 89 or like late 89, they changed it to like the round mounts. The late 89 and pre were like the square mounts, or the square bushings, I guess they call it. So I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe there's something I'm overlooking that I didn't notice right away. So I'm going to give Drift Motion a call or just a quick email. They'll probably know what they're doing. Anyways, after that, quick other thing with the transmission. Oh, this part's kind of bad, so yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I got a little bit overzealous, a little excited, and I did the one thing that you shouldn't be doing in practice, especially in the rain, was go for a dive bomb, because I was kind of annoyed before that people not letting me pass and aggressive in practice, and I go and do something dumb like that. But I talked to the guy after. He's pretty cool. He wasn't too mad about me with doing that, so he kind of understood the situation. He was like, for my luck, absolutely nice as hell, so I didn't really deserve to have someone that nice to me not get mad at me, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, we'll get back to the transmission. We'll talk about the transmission now. We're over the engine and engine balance. For the transmission, I bought the Fish Racing Tech adapter kit. I had it for about a year until before opening it, and when I opened it, it had everything but one piece, which was the there's like the what's it called, the input shaft seal. Yeah, the input shaft seal on the actual thing. You have to get a brand new one to put on the actual cast aluminum housing that they provide, but they didn't have the bushing or the actual seal itself, so I had to go to Nissan. It took a couple days to get that. I should be picking that up tomorrow after work, hopefully, and we will have the actual transmission together then, but I didn't have it in time as I spin there, not wanting to crash into the guy. But if I was paying more attention and broke properly, I probably wouldn't have had to spin. But anyways, like I said, the actual transmission should be up and ready to go tomorrow night, which would be like the 5th of January or whatever it is, whatever the Wednesday is. I think it's the 4th. No, it's the 5th, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And then the only other thing I have to do before I start doing a lot of fabrication is I have to make, well, the start of the fabrication is pretty much here right now. I need to make a transmission mount that'll actually mount the transmission to the car, because from what I can see, nobody makes a transmission mount for a CD09 and a Mark II Supra. Maybe I haven't found it, maybe I just don't know, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I'm okay at fabrication, especially with the thicker stuff. I'm a little bit better. The thin stuff I get kind of, finicky. I haven't really got the whole hang of it yet, but I think the thicker stuff I should be fine. I have a decent, well, my welder's kind of crap, but I should be able to be fine. I'll get my torch, I'll heat up the metal, make sure I get enough penetration to the metal, so I should be fine there. But besides that, it's all pretty much just a bunch of tedious stuff, like measuring for a drive shaft. I have a wiring specialties harness, so that should just be able to wire right up. My buddy is an electrician, so any small things we should be able to plug in right away. Also, I'm planning on using a, because I have the Heltec 2500, I won in like a raffle for like a wedding or something like that. I don't remember where I got it, but I won that in a proper raffle. And the plan is, since I saved money, I spent like $30 on tickets or $50 on tickets, so I got that thing for like almost nothing. My plan now is to spend the money I was going to spend on the ECU and get the Heltec digital dash. I forgot, I think it's an IC7. So the plan is to get that and pretty much take out the whole cluster in the actual interior and have that as my only cluster. Maybe have a couple of things here and there, like I think the Heltec doesn't provide the wideband, so I'll probably just get a wideband sensor. I think I have that in my kit as well. I don't remember exactly. I bought this stuff like a year ago, so I don't remember everything that's in the kit, but should be paying more attention to what I buy. But I think I know everything. I have to buy a handful of things. I have a list in my room, so we'll see with that.
but it's pretty much all tedious things like getting the clutch in, stuff like that. And then I have my buddy also installed a, what's it called? A 240 volt. Oh my gosh, the plan is to start learning to weld like TIG stuff soon, so I can actually do all my intercooler piping. Now I don't know how well that's gonna work. I might just use hose clamps and rubber couplers for the beginning, so that I can get the car actually just running, going to go. I'm not gonna be running too much boost, so I should be fine without blowing stuff open. And I'm also not drag racing, so I'm not gonna be hitting any two steps or anything like that. So I should be fine for the most part. But with that being done, that's pretty much the update done on my Supra. There's not much more to know. I've been really lazy, but I've had a huge jolt of excitement to get the car running. So hopefully it'll be done and ready for next season. But with that being said, let's talk about this actual video and the race itself. So here we're gonna be jumping into qualifying, and I'm gonna apologize now for the actual race, because in the race you can't see anything at all. I don't know if it's my camera or it's probably the camera. So my plan is to purchase a new camera for the upcoming season, and that's something we'll deal with a little later. But first thing I want to talk about is that the actual lines on the track. So the ideal line is pretty much to cut on the apex for the most part. But with the rain, you want to pretty much stay on the outside of the track the entire time, because the way the course kind of goes is it's kind of on a slight slope at every apex. So every apex, there's a small puddle, or that's where all the water seems to pool up. So you want to stay on the absolute outside, as you can see like how I'm doing, and if you watch the entire video, how everyone ahead of me was driving. So that's where all the grip is. It's kind of weird because you're right at the edge of where the grass is, and then once you turn in, you get this like weird jolt of grip to get in. Turn number 7 or whatever that is very weird, because you have to turn in very early, or else you kind of just have nowhere to turn as you're coming around turn 8 and then into the final corner. It's kind of weird, but we end up doing it in a decent lap. I believe we end up getting what is a 47.8, which isn't fantastic, but we'll see how that is. And this is the part of the actual race. I didn't put up like any indicators of position or anything like that, because honestly I'm not going to show the entire race. But here it is at the beginning of the race right here. You can't see anything. I believe I'm in 6th position right now, and then that guy there passes me on turn 1, which is kind of weird because you're not allowed to do that. So he gets into 7th place like that, or no, he gets into 6th. I'm sorry, I get into 6th now. And we're coming around here, turn 4 I believe it is. You can see someone right on the inside of me. I end up getting my 5th position back, which is pretty good. Honestly, the first lap was going pretty well. I was able to stay competitive with everybody there. You can't really see what's going on. I was sitting right behind the positions in front of me. I wasn't like crazy competitive. Again, it is first lap. Everyone kind of takes the first lap very gingerly because no one wants to wreck this and that. As we come around, I believe that's turn 8 here, coming into the final turn, coming on the main straight. The guy in front of me ends up being the guy that I believe took the dive bomb on me. But coming down the main straight, I wasn't really paying attention. I should have focused a little bit more, and the guy in front of me, you can't see absolutely anything. The guy in front of me actually ended up braking a little bit too much, and I got a little bit scared. I didn't want to absolutely wreck him, so I tapped the brake, I guess, a little bit too hard, and that's, with all the rain and the wet, spun me instantly, and I threw myself right into the wall. Which really sucks. I felt like I had a good day. If you were watching the footage, I really should have talked a little bit more about the footage, less about my car, but the day did go pretty decently. Actually, after spinning, 2 guys do pass me, but the guys that behind me who passed me really clearly weren't the greatest drivers. You can see there, he spun right coming out of turn 8. Coming out of the last turn, I'm already right behind the guy that's in 7th, or he would be 6th place. Yes, right behind the guy in 6th place. And if you see the way I pass him, which you're not going to be really to see because the lighting's terrible, coming down turn 1, after turn 1, coming into turn 4, you can see I pass him. If you can see just closely, he brakes so early, doesn't really go on the outside where all the grip is, and he's long gone before that. And now we're just going to kind of fast forward here because nothing happens like at all. I kind of just hold my race, and I was very disappointed, especially coming off such a great last 2 weeks, coming 2nd and then 1st place. I was really holding my head pretty low, but I gotta really focus on not every race is gonna be great. You're gonna have the ups and downs. Title of the video. You're gonna have your ups and downs, but it is what it is. I'm not the best racer. The problem is I want to be like the wonder kid coming first season, coming pulling stuff out. Or I can't swear on YouTube. I guess I'll bleep that out. But you're able to just do anything you can right away, like you're the best guy right away, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, but in reality that's not going to happen. Learning these go-karts has been a very big not just a big learning curve. Like, it's a whole new like world. I've never raced anything really except for the handful of times going go-karting, and finally doing actual competitive races in like an outdoor league is a whole new like journey, and it's been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for next season. And unfortunately we do come in 6th place this race, but you live and you learn, and we just have to, you know, keep our heads high and try better for next time.
Alright, so I actually made an outro to this video already, but I think I was a little bit too in my feelings about what happened during the race, so I'm going to redo it. I know it's better to get my real reactions from these things, but I was a little mad. I didn't do anything crazy, but I do want to redo what I said. Try to get some lighting so you guys see me. Okay, perfect. So, what happened? What I think happened was the guy was gonna go into the wall and he braked a little bit too much. I wouldn't say he brake checked me, because I don't think he was anything malicious about what he did. I think it was just he was trying to brake to not die, and then I broke a little bit too much and I spun myself. I think if I didn't brake, I definitely would have killed him, and he would have went right into the shadow realm, as like Super GT says. Like, he would have been into the wall and I would have got black flagged, and it would have been a mess. I would have gotten into a lot of shit, and that's nothing I wanted to deal with. So I thought the smarter move was to hit the brakes. I think I hit the brakes a little bit too hard. I guess it was more of a rookie mistake by me, since it's my first year and I don't know all of the little things like what to do and stuff like that. Problem is, I want to be the best guy first year. I want to be no issues first year. I want to be raw talent, this and that, and that's the issues. I'm not to that caliber yet, and I just really need more practice. I don't think my last 2 wins were fluke, because I was consistent and I did it. I think this race just really showed what else I have to work on. Is when I'm behind somebody, I have to be more focused. I have to brake a little bit earlier, because they're gonna brake, or they brake, but I have to brake earlier than them. So it's just things I need to learn when I actually race wheel to wheel. The qualifying stuff, I did pretty poor today actually, with a 5th place. It's one of the worst ones I've actually done. I think it's just because the track when we went to qualify was patchy. Like, it was starting to grip up as we were in qualifying. Like, you can even see in the clips when I was qualifying, turn 4 you can turn in a lot earlier and stuff like that. So it was just, you had to like be able to adapt quickly in qualifying to see where the grip was and where it wasn't. I ran a 47, but I can guarantee you the guys in front of me ran like a 45, 44, even 44 possibly. Maybe not, but who knows. On a lighter note, when I did spin, I had to pass 2 guys. The first guy I passed very easily, because I think he spun and I just went around him. But the guy get me into 6th place was pretty wild. I don't want to like say he was a bad driver, because like I don't want to start, you know, putting people down. But obviously he was more of a rookie and he didn't really know what he was doing. So coming into turn 4, he was braking really early. He was on the inside, and I knew I could go much faster on the outside, because I would start braking right before I could see the curbing, I guess you would call it, on the far side on the right. So I started braking way late. Like, I was full throttle while he was still braking. I broke really hard, and I was able to go on the outside, and I passed right by him. It was probably one of the coolest passes I've ever done all season, mainly because he didn't know what he was doing really. But I think it was one of the craziest passes I've ever done, and I'm really proud about that. So I want to end on a good note about that, and shows that I was kind of getting better at what I was doing. I think if I didn't spin, I would have been very, very competitive. I don't know if I would have got, you know, like 6th place, but whatever. Also, something I wanted to mention, 2 guys passed me, or not 2 guys, but 1 guy passed me on the turn 1 when we were told we're not allowed to pass on turn 1, and the guys ahead of us made moves on turn 1 when you're not allowed to pass. So that's one thing I didn't agree with. That thing got me really mad. That thing got me really, really mad, but I was like, well, I'm not gonna complain, I'm in the kart guard race. So that pushed me back into 6th place, which was kind of annoying, but whatever. That's their fault. That's not right. And the guy that passed me on that is the reason I spun. But yeah, he passed me on the inside, which wasn't right, but whatever. Anyways, this outro is way too long. It's like 4 minutes long. I'm gonna have to cut the hell out of this down. Anyways, if you like this video, I have more videos like this. Obviously, the last 2 races I've done really, really well, but I have more videos of me doing my little gardening journey. And if you like these, I have a whole playlist, so you can go there and watch it. But besides that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you guys next time.